it was so much fun. There were so many explosions. Wait, you think all the other ones are better?
No.
You think this is the worst movie?
That's not what I said.
That's because I have main character energy.
Oh, okay.
That.
Whoa, what now?
Got a baby!
When did this happen? Cute babies.
Who is that?
Boring ones of all of them.
Ah!
Except for the...
It's such good writing. It's such good writing.
I think one of the most funny scenes is when he...
Welcome to Doomsday Sibs. This is the first one. We are rewatching the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe in chronological order. One-ish movie per week so that we can get to Doomsday right after watching the most recent one. I'm Judah Eiler.
I am Aaliyah Eiler.
She's my sister. We just finished Captain America: The First Avenger, and I like this movie.
It was kind of boring.
You think it was boring? What was boring about it? I thought it was so much fun. There were so many explosions.
That's true. Probably the most explosions. But it just is the same thing over and over again. Explosion, he fights. Explosion, he fights. He throws his shield. Explosion.
But there's Peggy. That's not explosions.
True. I mean...
Well, let me say, I'm gonna say why I like this movie, and then you can say why you didn't like it. I think it's just such a good job of setting everything up at the beginning of the movie when they introduce the characters, and then paying it off at the end whenever characters die, or people think they died, because there are a lot of deaths in this movie that did not end up lasting. Like, for example, at the beginning, we get Steve Rogers and Bucky, obviously, saying whatever all they said in that scene. They say it again right before Bucky falls into the cliff. So, like, it's just such good top and tail writing. And then, of course, we've got the lovely dance stuff that comes all the way back around in Avengers Endgame. And, I mean, if you were to watch this movie and then Endgame right after that, it would feel very cathartic. Like, it'd be really, really good. But we won't be doing that. We're going to watch all the other 30 movies in between then and now. So, Lee, what did you think of this movie?
So it definitely is good, and it has like a good storyline to it. There are some parts that are confusing. It's like, why did they do this? Like, that has nothing to do with the movie. But I still think I have watched the other Marvel movies and Avenger movies that I do personally think they are better.
Wait, you think all the other ones are better?
No.
You think this is the worst movie?
That's not what I said.
That's pretty much what you said.
No. I'm saying this is one of the more boring ones of all of them.
Ah! Ah!
Except for the explosions. The explosions are kind of fun.
That'd be crazy. I think this is such a good movie. Like, I think it's one of the best Marvel movies. And the music is just so incredible. Like, what was your favorite scene from this movie? From Captain America?
My favorite scene. I have to think about this one. You.
I mean, I already said, I just think that the death scenes, both at the end for Captain America and for Bucky, they're just so well written. Like, they tie off, they resolve plot threads that are at the beginning just so well. I think that those were my favorite scenes. And there's not like a ton of just like fun scenes, because this is a war movie, but I think that would probably be the scene where Bucky would probably be my favorite. Just like that whole sequence.
Well, the more funny scenes I feel like of the movie, because there aren't really many scenes, is when Steve is tinier and trying to do all the things the bigger people are doing. And I think one of the most funny scenes is when he outsmarts all of them with the flagpole.
That's a good one.
When he just pulls it out and is like, got the flag, but that was a funny scene.
Yeah, I mean, I just love Captain America's character. I know some people like find him obnoxious because they're like, oh, he's just a big Boy Scout like Superman or whatever. But I like those characters a lot because they don't just turn into anti-heroes. Like, there's a lot of superheroes, especially nowadays, that just kind of turn into villains that kill the bad guys instead of killing the good guys. You know, that just, I feel like there's too many of those characters nowadays.
Yeah, but I feel like Steve, he likes to help everyone, even when his closest friends are in danger. It's okay if I don't live if this person is saved.
Yeah. I think that I would agree that that's one thing that I really like about him, you know, is he's really selfless and stuff, you know, like that, and so I just think that's fun. So let's see, what was your favorite character from this movie?
Favorite character?
Yeah. Was it Steve or was it like one of the
No,
side?
I like.
And Bucky's well written in this too, as well. Like I was saying, I think my favorite character is just gotta be Steve. You know, I know that seems like it's kind of boring. Yeah, I'm just gonna pick like that character with the main character energy, but that's because I have main character energy.
Oh, okay.
No, I think that that's probably it. You know what I mean? So how about this? Let's do a thing where we rank every movie when we watch them. So right now, these are each of our rankings. They'll pop up on the screen because I'll do magic in post-production. Boom, this is my rankings. Right now, there are no movies in them yet because this is the first one. So I think for me, Captain America is number 1.
I feel like right here, it might be.
It has to be number 1, Aaliyah.
Right now, I'm gonna put it at 1, I guess. If I have to.
That'll be very, very fun. All right, let's talk about how how we think these scenes are gonna be cool tying into Doomsday. How do you think this could tie into Avengers Doomsday? Because obviously we're rewatching all these movies in preparation for Avengers Doomsday, which is coming out in December. And what do you think?
I feel like you have to watch this movie because it tells his whole backstory and how he, of course, in the next few movies, or not next few movies, one of the other Avengers movies, how he goes back for Peggy, you know. I feel like
that's in
gonna,
Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, how that's gonna tie into Doomsday when he comes, or, you know, whatever happened.
Yeah, and then there's, I don't know if you have seen this trailer yet, and I think that you haven't, and so we're gonna watch it right now. So, obviously, the easiest way to say that this is gonna relate to Avengers Doomsday is to watch the Captain America trailer. Because it shows us some awesome stuff that really, like, kind of, I mean, you could say it undermines, you could say that it undermines the satisfaction, perhaps, of what happens, like the ending. Because honestly, if you take a look at this movie, if you think about this movie, it really is a tragedy. Like, it is about a guy who really kind of doesn't win. Like, he loses everything, you know what I mean? Like, he loses Bucky, he loses his life for a little bit, like he falls asleep, you know, or whatever. That's what, what's his name calls it. That's what Nick Fury calls it, is losing his life. But, you know, we here, let me go back to this one. We see him lose pretty much everyone who he cares about and everyone who cares about him in this movie. And so really that makes it a tragedy, I think. And that makes it a tragedy. And that's part of why I think it lands so well. Is I know, at least when I first watched this movie, when I first read the book, because I actually read novelizations of all these movies before I even watched them. But it always was one of those ones that I really loved, just because it doesn't just end with the good guy punching the bad guy. He has to make a sacrifice, like Aaliyah was saying. He has to decide to be nice. The hero, yeah. So, you wanna watch this trailer?
Yeah.
Because you haven't seen it before. I'm gonna turn this down. Okay. Steve Trevor. It's his house. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Mister, what do you think of that?
Whoa, what now?
Got a baby!
When did this happen? Cute baby, it's a cute baby. Is the official?
No, that's just the Steve Rogers trailer. We'll watch the other trailers after we watch their movies, just because I think that'll be a good way. A good way for you to see them, because you won't be like, oh wait, who's that character? Because you just watched a movie for that character. And so yeah, obviously, Steve is going to be having a child, presumably with Peggy.
Hopefully.
So like, well, I mean, we know from the end of Endgame that he goes back and lives out the rest of his life that he would have had with Peggy. And so,
I wonder how when he goes back, what the time frame is. Like, does he go back and before he crashes? Does he go back after and goes and is like, hey, I'm back?
Is that he ends up dancing with Peggy. That's all the Endgame shows us. That's how it ends, remember? That's like the very last shot of Avengers Endgame.
I don't remember.
That's why we're rewatching all of them. Is that you'll remember when we go to Doomsday, and you won't be leaning over to me in the theater being like, who is that? And I have to explain like 3 movies to you because you don't know.
Well, I just don't remember.
Yeah, I think the biggest like Captain America thread that's pulling through is of course all the Peggy stuff. Like he gets to go back and have the dance with Peggy, and that's what I was saying just about, you know, it all coming back around. It's such good writing. It's such good writing. Just across the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. But in this, inside of that movie specifically, Captain America, not Civil War, First Avenger, the writing is incredible. Well, in that movie we saw a couple posters where Uncle Sam was pointing and he's like, I need you. You know, he's over here. I need you to join the army. Well, we need you to hit that subscribe button. Yeah, that's why I full screened myself, just so I could point. But yeah, that's the end of this one. Next week, we've got, what's next? Captain Marvel. So tune in for a movie that I don't agree with the philosophy of.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see you next time.